I was juggling 2 jobs just to help my younger sister chase her dream. I thought I was doing the right thing, sacrificing my own life so she could have a better one. But what did I get in return? She looked me dead in the eyes in front of our whole family and called me a loser. That moment broke something inside me. But it also woke me up. It all started when Lauren, my little sister, got accepted into her dream college. You'd think she won an Olympic gold medal the way my parents reacted. They were glowing with pride. Lauren talked endlessly about her future career, and everyone around her was clapping like she was already a success story. Meanwhile, I stood quietly in the background doing mental math, because I already knew what was coming. My parents made it painfully clear they didn't have the funds for college, and without saying a word, they looked at me to fix it. My mom would say things like, "College is so expensive these days," while glancing my way. Like I didn't already know they were counting on me. I was working full-time as a mechanic and trying to save for a house. I didn't have extra cash just lying around. But still, I caved. I mean, she's my sister. How could I not help? At first, it was just small stuff. Money for books, a little help with groceries, but the requests didn't stop there. Soon, I was paying her rent, her utility bills, even her weekends out with friends because she needed to unwind. Every time, there was some excuse: "I'll pay you back after graduation," or "Mom and Dad just can't help right now." Worse than the money was the attitude. My parents acted like I was supposed to cover everything. "Family helps family," they said, as if that meant me sacrificing everything while Lauren got to live stress-free. Lauren never acted great. Instead, she posted selfies from restaurants and weekend trips, grinning like a socialite, the same girl whose life I was paying for. While I was skipping meals and working double shifts, she was showing off new outfits and designer bags online. I tried to make excuses for her. Maybe she had a part-time job. Maybe she was just trying to fit in. But when I asked, she brushed it off. "Everyone dresses like this. I don't want to look poor." And that's when it hit me. She didn't care. Not about me. Not about the fact that I was burning myself out so she could have this lifestyle. I was nothing more than a human ATM to her. It wasn't just the money. She never once asked how I was doing. Never checked in. Never cared if I was okay. My parents weren't any better. If I ever brought up my own struggles, they'd guilt-trip me. "She's your sister. She's building a future. You should be proud." But proud? How could I feel proud when my entire life was being put on hold for someone who didn't even say thank you? The house I was saving for, gone. My weekend, gone. My health, hanging by a thread. And still, Lauren never even acknowledged it. Instead, she called to complain about her professors, her roommate borrowing shoes, or how the campus didn't serve real coffee. Not once did she say, "Hey, thank you." Then came the moment that changed everything. One day, she casually mentioned she wanted to study abroad for a semester. She didn't ask if I could afford it. She didn't even hesitate. "It'll cost a bit more," she said, "but it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, right?" I sat there stunned. I could barely keep up with her current expenses, and now she expected me to pay for a semester overseas? I turned to my parents, hoping they'd finally see reason. But instead, my mom said, "You'll figure it out. You always do. No concern. No support, just more expectations." Around that time, Lauren's true colors started to shine even brighter. She began to make little jabs at me, like joking that I was married to my job, or laughing about how I never had time to do anything fun. One day at work, I was venting to a coworker, and she said something I'll never forget. "She doesn't appreciate you, you're breaking your back, and she acts like you owe her." It finally clicked. I wasn't helping family, I was being used. Then came the family dinner. My parents invited me over, saying it would be nice to catch up. Lauren was home for break, and I figured a few hours couldn't hurt. From the moment I walked in, the attention was all on her. My parents hovered over her, asking about school, her social life, what else she needed. I sat silently, hoping just once someone would ask how I was doing. They didn't. Halfway through dinner, Lauren launched into her study abroad plans again, going on about how everyone she knew was doing it. Then she looked right at me and said, "Hope you're ready to put in some extra hours, big bro. These programs aren't cheap." I froze, my fork in hand, my jaw clenched. "Maybe you should get a part-time job," I said, trying to keep my voice calm. She burst out laughing. "Me? A job? I'm way too busy with school." And that was it. I was done. I put down my fork and stared her straight in the face. "You really think I'm going to keep funding your lifestyle while you do absolutely nothing?" The room went silent. Lauren's face shifted. She wasn't used to me talking back. "You've always been bitter," she snapped. "Just because your life's going nowhere doesn't mean you have to take it out on me." I couldn't believe it. After everything I'd given up, she still saw me as a failure. but I wasn't going to let her get the last word. Bitter? My life's been stuck because I've been too busy funding yours. My parents tried to jump in. That's not appropriate. My mom snapped. You're her brother. It's your job to support her. I laughed, but it wasn't out of humor. When did that become my job? To work two jobs just so she can play pretend adult while living in luxury? Lauren rolled her eyes and muttered, "Oh great, here comes the martyr speech." That's when I stood up. You know what? I said. Go ahead, call me a failure, but at least I earned everything I have. You sit around spending my money like you're royalty. And mom, dad, you let her. You encouraged it. I turned to all of them. I'm done. No more rent. No more tuition. No more anything. The silence was deafening. For the first time, Lauren didn't have a comeback. Her face went pale. You can't do this, she said, her voice shaking. How am I supposed to live? I grabbed my jacket. Figure it out. I've been doing it my whole life. Maybe it's your turn. And then I walked out that door, for the first time choosing myself. I walked out of that dinner feeling a strange mix of rage and relief. For the first time, I had stood up for myself, but I knew it wouldn't end there. My family wouldn't take this quietly. Sure enough, the next morning my phone blew up. Texts, missed calls, all from Lauren. At first her messages were passive-aggressive. Thanks for ruining dinner. Hope you feel good about leaving your own sister behind. Then came the guilt trips. You're really going to do this after all I've been through. I ignored every word. She wanted to play the victim? Let her. I wasn't part of that performance anymore. Not long after, my parents jumped in. My mom called first. Her voice was dripping with disappointment. I don't know what's gotten into you, she said. Lauren needs you. She's your sister. She's been my financial responsibility for years. I snapped. Maybe it's time she grows up. My dad called later. You're being selfish, he said flatly. You're punishing her for no reason. No reason, I shot back. She's been living on my paycheck like it's her birthright. What she needs is a dose of reality. Then came the real kicker. Lauren's landlord called me. Apparently she told him I was the one paying her rent. And when the latest payment didn't come through, he came straight to me. She's not my problem anymore, I said. You need to talk to her. That must have hit hard. Because just a few days later, Lauren showed up at my apartment. No warning, no message. She just knocked. She looked like a mess, hair unbrushed, eyes red. Her confidence was gone. You can't just cut me off, she blurted the second I opened the door. Yes, I can, I replied, arms crossed. She shifted nervously, not used to being told no, especially by me. You don't understand, she pleaded. If you don't help me, I'll lose my apartment. I can't go back home. There's no room. Not my problem, I said bluntly. She looked shocked. You're my brother. And for years, I said. I've been more than that. I've been your safety net, your wallet, your excuse to avoid adult. I worked two jobs to fund your dream, and the one time I ask for respect, you call me a loser. I didn't mean it like that, she whispered. I was upset. You never mean anything, I said. You never think. You've used me, used mom and dad, and now that you're out of lifelines, you're panicking. She started crying, loud, dramatic sobs, the kind that used to make me feel guilty. Not anymore. You're not going to guilt me this time, I said firmly. You need to figure your life out. Get a job, budget, be an adult, but leave me out of it. Her expression turned cold. You're cruel, she spat. Family is supposed to help. No, I said. Family supports each other. They don't bleed each other dry and call it love. Until you understand that, don't come back. I closed the door, hard, and for the first time in years, I felt peace. But of course, she didn't stop there. The next day, my mom called, furious. How could you abandon your sister, she shouted. She's struggling. And you left her, struggling, I replied. She's been leeching off of me while living like a queen. Maybe now she'll learn what struggling really feels like. My dad joined in too. You're heartless. You're ungrateful after all we've done for you. Ungrateful, I laughed. You watched me work myself to exhaustion, just to keep her comfortable and cheered her on like she was some kind of hero. There was silence on the other end. Eventually they gave up, and just said I was tearing the family apart. Lauren, meanwhile, turned her meltdown public. She flooded her social media with vague posts. Some people only care about themselves, betrayed by those closest to me. Then she made a GoFundMe for her rent. Yes, seriously, the description read something like, I was blindsided by an unexpected expense. Anything helped. Comments poured in. OMG, are you okay? Sending love. But the donations? Barely a trickle. Turns out, people are a lot less generous when you're not living on someone else's dime. The story started to spread through the family. My aunt called me, already annoyed. I heard you're refusing to help Lauren, she said. I explained everything. She really expected you to keep paying her rent? My aunt asked in disbelief. Welcome to my life, I said. Then came the final blow. My parents showed up at my door. I wasn't even surprised. They were in a panic. Apparently, Lauren had taken out a credit card in their name and maxed it out on a shopping spree. Now they were stuck with the debt. And guess who they turned to? Can you help us pay it off? They asked. I couldn't help but laugh. You defended her, enabled her, blamed me. Now you want my help? This is your mess, I said. You chose to ignore her behavior. Now you live with the results. This time they didn't argue. Maybe, just maybe, they finally realized I was done. That was the last time I heard from any of them. I've spent the years since rebuilding my life, piece by piece, without the constant guilt, without the never-ending emotional drain. It took time, but I finally got back on track. I started saving again, got my weekends back, found peace in the little things, something I never had while carrying someone else's life on my shoulders. As for Lauren, last I heard, she's still living at home, still expecting to be pampered, still acting like the world owes her something. Part of me feels bad for my parents. They're stuck with the monster they helped create. But most of me, I feel free. They made their bed, and now they're lying in it.